that starts to entitle you to someday be ruler over many. You say, well, if I had a big organization, you know, I'd really run it with a strong hand and I'd be a fabulous leader. But I've only got a few and I don't know where they are. See, that's not going to work. If you wish to preside over riches, you must start when the amounts are small. Someone says, oh, if I had a fortune, I'd really take good care of it, but I've only got a paycheck. I don't know where it goes. See, not knowing where it goes disqualifies you now for presiding over the fortune. We've all heard that, right? I don't know where it all goes. Do you ever hear that expression? Oh, we'd love to have you run the company. You don't know where it all goes. Somebody says, it just gets away from me. Oh, we'd love to have you run the world, right? It just gets away from you. Somebody says, it's only pennies and it's only a few. Here's where you begin to qualify for abundance and riches and greatness and respect, is to be disciplined when the amounts are small. Someone finds it unique, right, that this many people would come and hear what I've got to say for a whole weekend, but this is not where I started. I started with just a few, but I was so on fire with the few, trying to translate for them in my awkward ways back then. What had happened to me? My life got changed, my income got changed, my health got changed, everything got changed for the better. And now I've lived the most extraordinary life, but it started with my passion for just a few to translate for.
All right, guys, we're going to get the call started here in a little bit. Let's give it a few minutes to get the word back out. YouTube was tripping this morning. It wasn't even letting me set up the link. I set it up, it shut down, it reset. So I don't know what it is that this book is going to bring us, but it don't want us to share it. So we're going to share it no matter what. So let's go in those group chats. Let's spread the word. We'll start at around 9:25-ish. So let's give everybody like 5 minutes to hop in. I know a lot of people were on the other link, but I hope you guys got your books ready. We'll start at 9:25. We'll open up the floor. We'll start reading and everything going by 9:30-ish, the latest. All right, fam. So keep spreading the word. Keep spreading the word. Let everybody know in your group chat to spread that word. Spread that word because the call is live and we will start in literally 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes. Get your books ready. Get your papers ready. Get everything ready.
For just the few. Someone says, well, there's just a few here. You know, does this meeting matter when there's only a few? And the answer is yes. Jot this down. You never know who's in the audience, whether it's a few or 1,000 or whatever. But you got to be faithful when there's just a few. Tell your story when there's just a few. Be just as passionate about ideas that can change someone's life when there's just a few. Now you begin. Not fully qualified, but you begin the qualification to someday speak to many, someday preside over a vast crowd, someday be the manager or the leader of millions. It starts in those early days to deserve it. Now, jot this down. Also give yourself a chance to change. Some things I held on to that I thought this was it, this was it. I'm telling you, after a while I gave it up, found out it wasn't it. So give yourself a chance to change, refine your philosophy, refine your direction. If you'll give yourself a chance to do that, here's what will happen down the road a ways. A new door will open that you haven't discovered before. Give yourself a chance to change, reevaluate. Okay. So let your library be a testimonial of your dedicated interest in accelerated personal development, that you will read whatever you have to read, you will hear whatever you must hear, and you will watch and see whatever you must see in order to make your life refined and worthwhile and achieve all of your purposes. That's what I want this stopping station to be these 3 days. Just to come here and sit for a while and listen and ponder and take notes and work hard. And see if you can't absorb, get all that you possibly can here so that it will start to refine your life even before you get on an airplane and fly back to wherever you came from, before you get in your car and drive away. What we share with you here, with whatever, all the rest that you've learned, this will be a catalyst to start a process even before you get home and start working. Some of you are going to set some goals. We're going to do the workshop tomorrow, designing the next 10 years. Hopefully you'll come up with some new promises, some new objectives, some new ideas. And by the time we're finished here, these 2-3 days, I'm telling you, you'll see yourself able to accomplish 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more than you ever thought was possible, which will make this cost of this seminar a small price to pay. And hopefully it'll make the time you spent here a small price to pay compared to making this an investment in your future, in what will flow in terms of money and income and return and reward and respect and dignity and accolades, trophies, all the stuff that can be yours. A marriage that lasts forever, a friendship that nourishes you forever, things that you'll find that you'll keep and treasure for a lifetime. Hopefully this is one of those things. It takes a lot of effort to learn. It takes a lot of effort to grow. It takes a lot of effort to decide and debate. But jot this down. It's all worth the price. Whatever stimulates you to think, whatever stimulates you to wonder, whatever stimulates you to react or even to debate, even if you hear something you say, well, that's not right. See, that's still valuable. It means you're awake. It means you're alert. It means you're alive. It means your mind is ready to take on something, whether it's agreeable or not agreeable. Something right, something wrong. Who cares what it is? We've got to listen to a variety of voices. And some are going to come from the left and some are going to come from the right. And some are going to come from mysterious sources. And some will try to entice you with all kinds of stuff. But that's okay. Just so you're alive and alert and awake, ready to process anything that comes your way. Take the best of it and make it beneficial for you, so that tomorrow you walk with a stronger step. Next month you see a clearer vision. In a month from now, the purpose for your life is multiplied by
60 seconds, guys. Get the word out to everybody. Literally the last 60 seconds, and we running it, fam. April 4 awareness is here, guys. April 4 awareness is here. Had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the call. YouTube didn't want to let me set it up. Somebody doesn't want us to hear the message this morning, so we're gonna spread it. 60 seconds. Let's run.
2, 3, 5. That's what I want to create. So now to hurry and get through, because we have so many subjects to cover, let's cover now some other things under personal development. Here's one that's important as you read and as you listen and as you study and as you grow and as you take notes and as you fill up your journal. Then try to work on the ideas to make yourself valuable in the marketplace. Here's something to remember under personal development, some things I had to learn. First, steps to success. First of all, you need good ideas. Just decide right now you're going to accelerate your plan for collecting good ideas.
All right, guys. Welcome to Mornings with Nano. Yes, it is Christmas. God bless. I am so excited. Grand Rising. Hope everybody is having a phenomenal morning. I know I am. I got my full morning routine in. I feel blessed. I feel so good. I even got in the ocean water this morning just to, release some energy and clear my body and my aura of anything that wasn't needed in my body. I got a haircut. Had a great week at NFT Miami, which was amazing, which was super dope. I'm just super blessed and grateful. Big smiles. Yes, big smiles. Big smiles. And you know what, guys? I'll tell you guys this. Look, you want to know how it's dope that we talk about it's Christmas. Well, thanks to Mornings with Nano, I met an amazing individual. I went to NFT Miami, and I was able to. Everybody's like, "Whoa, Christmas? What do you mean?" I went to NFT Miami, and I was supposed to be there with a group. The group, for some reason, it fell through, and I guess they hadn't put me on the list or whatever it was. But when I showed up there, somebody that was at the ticket counter was a Mornings with Nano listener. And she was like, wait, are you here to purchase a ticket? Nah, here. And I got the ticket for free, guys. So huge shout out to her. I'm super blessed and grateful. It was Christmas. Like we say, it was Christmas that morning, right? It was Christmas that morning. And I'm pretty sure her name was Maria. So Maria, I don't know if you're on the call, but if you're not, pray that God, multiplies that blessing times 10, times 20, because man, did I get so much value from it. And I'm really, really looking forward to, everything. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. My bro would get blessed with that, right? He says, it's just dope. It's just dope. So I'm blessed and excited. But before we get the call started, guys, can I get what's one thing in the chat box that you guys are grateful for? What is one thing that you guys are grateful for in the chat box? Put it in there. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for the blessings in my life, my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for Katie, the whole team, my organization, the leaders within the dynasty and the academy. I'm just extremely grateful for, the wisdom, the books, how healthy my body feels, how aligned I am, how amazing the book. Let me just send one last message, let everybody know. Starting now. Boom. Okay, I'm going live on IG. All right, grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano family. Grateful for Jasmine, for Sana, for my brother Hansel. Grateful for my mentors, Matt Rosa, Matt Gribby, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Darwin Lopez. Extremely, extremely grateful, and I'm excited. All right, so if you got your book and you're ready to go, you got your book and you're ready. And if you're ready to go, put a let me see, April for awareness. Put a AFA in the chat box. Put a AFA if you got your book. AFA, April for awareness. Put an AFA in the chat box if you got your book. You're ready to go. You're ready to get it started. I'm excited. I'm blessed. Well, if you're new on the call, all right, today is the start of April for awareness. And what I want all of you to know is that we all purchased this book, which was called The Power of Awareness. If you don't have it, buy it right now so that you can get it as soon as possible, so you can get it this week. But we're going to be dedicating the whole month of April to increasing our awareness. And the reason why, we chose to do so is because of one of my friends and one of my leaders within my organization, really good friend of mine. She was here at my house. She stayed for a week or two. And, I was telling her about how much this book had did for me and how it changed my life and, how good it made me feel and the impact that it had. And I was telling her, I'm going to read it again. Like, I'm going to read it again. And what she told me was, she like, you should share that with others. Like, you should share that experience with everybody. Like, everybody should feel what you felt because of that book. And, she put that into perspective for me. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I should open this up. I should do a book club. And I was like, what better place to do the book club than Mornings with Nano and run it up? It's a short book. It's not a long read. I know we'll be able to knock it out in a few days here in April. But I will tell you guys this. I fly to Barcelona Wednesday night. So I'm only going to be doing Mornings with Nano Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. All right. So I'm only doing Mornings with Nano Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So I'll be flying to Barcelona on Wednesday night. I don't land till Thursday afternoon. We have event Friday in Barcelona. So I'm excited for that. But huge shout out to Luisa for putting us on, because this is going to be great. Now, what is the intention for this month? Okay, I wrote it down on my journal. The intention for this month, all right, guys, is for us to increase our level of awareness and understand this information on a deeper level so we can apply it. Okay, that is the intention for this month. All right, is to increase our level of awareness. All right, so that we can understand this information on a different level and be able to apply it and get what we want. Because remember, the only thing that is stopping us from getting us to where we want to go to is our level of awareness. Your level of awareness determines the reality that you live. All right, so let's get this book club started. It still has some sand from downstairs. The name of the book is called The Power of Awareness. All right. We're going to start right at the top. He says, to author and his beloved Bernie, whose awareness brought this book into being. Right. Chapter 1. This book is to reveal your infinite power against which no earthly force of the slightest significance. All right. It is to show you who you are, your purpose, and your destiny. So this is very, very dope book. All right. What I would recommend is, if I were you, I would write down your intention on this page right here. What is your intention? What do you want to get out of this book? Okay. This is something that a lot of you guys may not know, but you want to write down what you want to get out of a book. What is your purpose? What is your intention going into reading this book? So that way you can get what you've been looking for in this book. Okay. Now, this book is very powerful. It's also very advanced. Okay. It's an advanced book. It's a book that most people who have just got started with reading, it won't be the best first book. You know what I'm saying? It's, in shorter words, it's a book that you got to have a few books under your belt before you run it. But the good thing is we're going to go over it together. Okay, so real quick, if you can, make sure that you write down your intention. I don't have it on this one because this one is my newest one. I have my other copy in my house in New York City. But make sure that if you don't do it now, do it later. Put down your intention. What is your purpose? All right. What is your purpose behind reading this book? What do you want to get out of it and everything like that? All right. So we're going to start with the first chapter. All right. As you guys know, the chapters are short. They're literally 2-3 pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them out loud. I'm going to stop whenever I feel like there is something that I have to explain and break it down more simply. We're only going to do chapter 1 and chapter 2 today. All right. We'll organize it as we go. When I used to do book clubs in the past, I did them on Zoom. So I'm not sure how it's going to work on YouTube, because usually what I would do is I would read, a certain amount of paragraphs, and then I would pass it, and then the next person would read. But it looks like this one, I'm gonna just have to just read it out loud and kind of break it down as we go. So that's what we'll do. If anything, if it's not vibing, then we'll make some changes. But let's start off with chapter 1. Put a 1 in the chat box. You're ready to read. You're ready to tap in. You're ready to, start the book. I'm super excited. Tomorrow we will start a lot earlier. I know that this morning, there was some technical difficulties with YouTube, and a lot of things happened in the morning. But, tomorrow I want to be starting by 9:15, the latest. All right. I want to open up the link at 9, give everybody about 10 to 15 minutes to get in. 9:15, we start. All right, guys. So let's get this call started. All right. Chapter 1, I am. All right. All things, when they are admitted, are made manifest by the light. For everything that is made manifest is light. For everything that is made manifest is light. Like, that's powerful stuff. Like, even that first one is super powerful. But let's get right into it, right? So he says, the light is consciousness. Consciousness is one. Manifesting in legions of forms or levels of consciousness. There is no one that is not all that is. For consciousness, though expressed in an infinite series of levels, is not divisional. So let me break this down, because I want to be able to help you guys understand this book, because every line in this book is super powerful. I'm not going to stop on every line, but I want to make sure that everybody understands this right here, especially when it comes to this specific chapter right here, right? He said the light is consciousness, okay? consciousness is one. Okay. Now, when we think of consciousness, Nano, what are you talking about with consciousness, right? It's what you think about. All right, Bradley, I know you're going to be confused. Some of you guys will be confused. So I'm going to explain this. All right. So consciousness is one. All right. Which means we only have one mind. All right. Think about it. We only have this one mind. But consciousness is what we think, is what we are aware of. All right. He says consciousness is one, manifesting in legions of forms of levels of consciousness. There is no one that is not all that is. For consciousness, though expressed in an infinite series of levels, is not divisional. All right, which means is, all right, you can't think for somebody. That's basically what he's saying. It's not divisional. I can't put my mind into your mind. All right. This is something that is one. Everything that's what he says. There is no one that is not all that is. You are who you are. All right. You are what you think. Okay. I promise you it gets a little bit easier as the chapters go, but it's important that you guys understand this chapter. Okay. So your thinking cannot be divisional. I can't think for you. I can't do your actions for you. Everything is done as one. All right. Now, it's important that you guys understand this. All right. There's no real separation or gap in consciousness. I am cannot be divided, right? I am, us, cannot be divided. We cannot be put into somebody else's reality. We experience our own realities. All right. I may convince myself to be a rich man, a poor man, a beggar, or a thief, but the center of my being remains the same regardless of the concept I hold of myself. Please highlight that right there. Please highlight that right there, because that line basically explains the few lines above, the few sentences above. All right, I'm going to repeat it one more time. He says, I may conceive myself to be a rich man, a poor man, a beggar man, or a thief, but the center of my being remains the same regardless of the concept I hold of myself. All right. So it's important that you guys understand this. God bless. Yeah, this is day one. This is day one right here, guys. So if you're wondering if this is day one, this is day one. So stay with me right here. And even still, if you don't have the book, listen in, because there's a lot of nuggets that you can get from this, even if you don't have the book. Okay. So what he's basically explaining there is that whatever you see yourself in your mind, you will be. So if you see yourself as a rich man, you would be a rich man. If you see yourself as an abundant individual, you can be an abundant individual. If you see yourself as a poor person, you will always be that poor person. You will be who you conceive yourself to be. Okay. A few people are telling me you can get the PDF version online. If anybody does have the PDF version, can you put it in the chat box, please? But make sure that you guys highlight this right here. And I'm literally rereading the book with you guys so we can have a good understanding of it. So I may conceive myself to be a rich man, a poor man, regardless of. So this is what he says. He says, at the center of manifestation, there's only one. I am. I am manifesting in legions of forms or concept of itself. And I am that I am. Okay. So in shorter words, all right, in order for you to understand just that one simple paragraph right there, all right, you are who you believe yourself to be. Okay. You are who you believe yourself to be. Okay. So if you see yourself as somebody who is struggling, that's who you will be. If you see yourself as someone who's in momentum, who's striving, who's accomplishing things, then that's exactly what you will be. All right. I need you to understand this. This is one of the most important lessons, because once he goes through the rest of this book, like I'm telling you guys, once we go into like Tuesday, Wednesday, once we start tapping into desire, the power of awareness, the power of assumption, the truth that sets you free. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into that's super dope. But you got to understand this. That's why chapter 1 is I am, because we are who we see ourselves as. Okay, put an I am in the chat box if you understand that right there. You are who you see yourself to be. All right, put a 1 in the chat box. All right, and if we look up the definition of conceive, okay, conceive is to form or devise a plan in the mind. Okay, what is conceive? Conceive is to form or devise a plan or idea in the mind, is being able to hold that idea in your mind of who you are. Okay, who do you want to be this quarter? Who do you want to be in the month of April? I need you to think about that right now. Who do you want to be? How much money do you want to earn? No, this is a book. This is a book. All right, it's called The Power of Awareness. All right. So you are who you see yourself to be. Now let's get into it. All right. I am is the self-definition of the absolute, the foundation on which everything rests. I am is the first cause substance, right? I am is the self-definition of God. Now I want to explain this to you guys because we all say that we believe in God, right? But if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in God, because we are all created in the image of God and God is within us. Okay. So if we don't believe in ourselves, we don't believe in God. And when somebody told me that, and when I learned that from somebody, that was so deep. Okay. It was so deep because I am is the self-definition of God. Whatever you say you are, that's what you will be. If you say you are wealthy, you will be wealthy. If you say you are abundant, you will be abundant. But remember, it's believing it. Okay? It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to believe it. Okay? That's why they say the easiest thing you will do is hit 6 figures. The hardest thing you will do is believe you can do it. Okay? So I am the self-definition of God. I'm going to the back page, top of page 10. I am hath sent me unto you. I am that I am. Be still and know that I am God. I am is a feeling of permanent awareness. The very center of consciousness is the feeling of I am. I may forget who I am, where I am, what I am, but I cannot forget that I am. And that's what he's saying, is that you can forget who you are, you can forget where you are, you can forget what you are, but at the end of the day, you cannot forget that you are I am. Okay, that you are anything that you put yourself to be, anything that you put in your mind, that's who you are. Okay, the awareness of being remains regardless of the degree of forgetfulness of who, where, and what I am. Okay, I am is that which amid unnumbered forms is ever the same. This great discovery of cause reveals that, good or bad, man is actually the abider. Let me look that up. Let me see what that means. Right? I'm going to do this throughout the thing because I like to understand things on a different level, right? All right. Abider is a person who settles a dispute or has ultimate authority in a matter. All right. So the great discovery of cause reveals that, good or bad, a man is actually the abider of his own fate, which means he has the ultimate authority, right? Abider means you have ultimate authority over your own fate. Everything is on you. It's not on anybody else. It's on you. This is key. And that it is his concept of himself that determines the world in which he lives. In other words, if you are experiencing ill health, knowing the truth about cause, you cannot attribute the illness to anything other than to the particular arrangement of the basic cause substance, an arrangement in which is defined by your concept, I am unwell. This is why you are told, let the weak man say, I am strong. Joel 3.10, for his assumption, the cause substance I am is rearranged and must therefore manifest that which its arrangement affirms. This principle governs every aspect of your life, be it social, financial, intellectual, or spiritual. Now, there was something there that was powerful, and this is something that I learned. He said, in other words, if you are experiencing the ill health part, he said, knowing the truth about cause, you cannot attribute the illness to anything else other than to the particular arrangement of the basic cause substance. Now, what does he mean by this? Let me explain this to you guys, because I know it gets deep, but I know I can break this down to you. All right. What have I told you guys about when you get sick, or when you feel under the weather, or when you get the vid, right? Like they were saying. I need you guys to understand something, and this might sound a little crazy. All right. But this whole thing that happened last year was a setup. Let me tell you why. Because they got people to believe that they had that. And you would go to test centers, and the moment you got a test and it said that you were positive, all right, you automatically, the moment that you looked at it and you allowed it into your consciousness, that's when it became a part of your reality. That's what he's saying right there. The only reason you got sick is because you believed you were sick. You embodied that idea. You said, you know what? They're right. They're right. I am. This is why I need you guys to wake up to what is happening. And I might make you guys a little bit uncomfortable on these calls, but I need you to understand this, because it gets deeper. All right? I've been telling people this for so long. The moment you feel yourself even getting a little under the weather, literally convince yourself that you are healthy, that you are abundant, that your immune system is strong, that no diseases exist in your body. Sicknesses cannot come into your body. Do it. Do it. Trust me, it's worked for me like never before, guys. I literally, thank you, God. I give you all the glory and all the thanks for the strength that you've given my immune system. All right. But anytime I feel anything, I literally just convince myself that I am perfectly fine, that I am healthy, I am abundant, my immune system is strong, and that I even visualize myself being healthy. And guess what? Even if I am a little bit under the weather, even if I'm sneezing a little bit and coughing a little bit, within a day or two is gone. Because you know what I say? I am healthy. I am abundant. My immune system is strong. Dude, I don't need no pharmaceutical medicine. God is my medicine. My words are my medicine. Guys, never once did I ever test positive for it. Never even got it. In my opinion, I never got it. It didn't even exist in my reality. Was it happening? Yes. Were people dying from it? Yes. Was there things all around the world happening? Yes. But I never accepted into my reality. Never, ever, ever once accepted it because of something I heard Bob Proctor say. Alex Morton asked Bob Proctor, hey, Bob, what do you think about everything that's happening with the vid? He said, I don't think about it. He was like, what do you mean? It's happening. He was like, yeah, it's happening, but I don't accept it into my reality. The moment you accept it is when it becomes yours. And I know this is kind of hard for some of you guys to comprehend because some of you guys, this might be your first call. This might be your first week. This might be your first 3 months in the business. This is deep stuff, but I'm going to get deep with you guys because there's nobody else that is not going to tell you guys this. Your reality will be whatever you accept it to be. Okay, and that's what he's saying here. So the moment that you feel a little bit under the weather, what do most people do? They tell everybody that they talk to, yeah, man, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm sick. I'm down right now. Think about what you're speaking. Think about that. Think about what you're speaking when you say you tell somebody, I am sick. You're literally telling people, I am sick. What do you expect? You are, look, let's go back and highlight what I told you. I may conceive myself to be a rich man, a poor man, a beggar man, a thief, but the center of my being remains the same regardless of the concept I hold of myself. At the center of manifestation, there is only one, I am. So whatever you speak after I am, all right? Whatever you speak after I am becomes your reality. I'm telling you, it works. I'm telling you guys, it works. Put a 1 in the chat box if you're understanding this so far. We're on page 10. We're at the bottom where it says I am. Right? This is just simple stuff that we're covering here. If you can understand this, and look, guys, my best advice for you, if you started this book with me, stay on it the whole time because there's going to be chapters that we're going to jump off this call. We're going to jump off this call like, oh my God, I can't believe we just read that. Okay, but you have to be here from the beginning. All right, so let's run into this because I want to be able to go into the second chapter, which is consciousness, which is also very powerful. All right, so we're at the bottom of page 10, I am. I am is that reality to which, whatever happens, we must turn for an explanation of the phenomena of life. It is I am's concept of itself that determines the form and scenery of its existence. Everything depends upon its attitude toward itself. That which it will not affirm as true of itself cannot awaken in its world. Make sure you highlight that right there. Everything depends upon its attitude towards itself. That which it will not affirm as true of itself cannot awaken in its world. All right. So whatever you don't affirm won't happen. So if you don't say I am sick, it's impossible for it to happen. All right. This is important. Oh, so it's a different page for the Brown book. Yeah, that's why you guys should have got this one right here. I told you guys to get this one. But if you guys can make the adjustment, then run it up. It says that is your concept of yourself, such as I am strong, I am secure, I am loved, determines the world in which you live. In other words, when you say I am a man, I am a father, I am an American, you are not defining different I ams. You are defining different concepts or arrangements of the one cause substance, the one I am. Even in the phenomena of nature, if the tree were articulate, it would say, I am a tree, an apple tree, a fruitful tree. Okay? That's just a basic understanding of explaining I am. So regardless, whatever you speak after I am, that's what you are. Okay? So it doesn't matter that, like, that's what he says right here. He says, I am a father, I am a man, I am a father, I am an American. You are not defining different I ams, you are defining different concepts. Okay, so it's like me saying, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am blessed, I am this. I'm still the one substance, but I'm just defining different concepts of it. Okay, very key. He says, when you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, and becoming that which is conceived itself to be, You are free from the tyranny of second causes, free from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. This one you definitely want to highlight, that chapter. Sorry, that paragraph right there. There's a lot of value in that paragraph, and I'm going to cover it right now. Right? What did he say? Stay with me right here. When you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, which means that what we think is our one and only reality. Whatever we think is the only reality that we have. Okay? Conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, and becoming that which it conceived itself to be, you are free from the tyranny, right? Let's look up tyranny for those who don't know what it is, right? Tyranny is, right, is basically like cruel and unreasonable, things that happen, cruel and oppressive government or rule, right? Right? It's when things bad happen, bad things that happen. All right. Now, listen to this. You are free from the tyranny of second causes, free from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. This is where they say things don't happen to you. What do they say? Things don't happen to you. What do they happen for? They happen for you. They happen for you. All right. Understanding that one concept changes everything. Because a lot of people think that things are happening to them. Remember, guys, COVID happened to all of us. The war is happening to all of us. Everything that's happening right now is happening to all of us. But we have no control over that. Okay? As long as you can understand that everything is happening for you, you are free from the tyranny, right? Which means you are free from the idea that outside circumstances affect your life, that your whole life is governed by what you think. Your whole life is controlled by what you think, guys. Nothing on the outside, none of the outside circumstances in your life determine anything. You determine everything. He said, in the state of consciousness of the individual is found the explanation of the phenomena of life. If a man's concept of himself were different, everything in his world would be different. His concept of himself being what it is, everything in his world must be as it is. So whatever concept you hold of yourself, that's what your world will show you. Remember, we are vibrational beings, guys. So whatever you think of yourself, if you lack confidence in yourself, if you look at yourself a certain way, then that is the reality that you will live. Point blank. That's how it works. That is the reality that you will live on the vision and the view that you have of yourself. He says, bottom paragraph. Thus, it is abundantly clear that there is only one I am, and you are that I am. And while I am is infinite, you, by concept of yourself, are displaying only a limited aspect of the infinite I am. Which means that we are limitless, guys. We are only displaying a small version of us. Trust me, we are so much more than what we see in front of us, all right? He says, at the back of page 12, build thee more stately mansions, O my soul. As the swift seasons roll, leave thy low vaulted pass. Let each new temple, nobler than the last, shut thee from heaven with a dome more vast, till thou at length art free, leaving thine outgrown shell by its life unresting sea. That is powerful. It's hard to read in that language. But if you understand what he meant with that little poem or what he said right there, he basically said Listen to this. If you read it again, he says, "Build thee more stately mansions, O my soul." All right. As the swift seasons roll, right? What season, right? We just went through the first quarter of the year. We're now going into the second quarter of the year. Shout the whole time. Wait. Who's shouting? Somebody said somebody's shouting? Am I shouting? Is that what it is? Somebody said I'm shouting in the chat. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm not shouting, fam. I'm not shouting. I'm literally talking to you guys nice and calm. But it's the passion. Maybe it's the passion. Maybe you don't understand the passion. That's what it is. But sorry if you feel like I'm shouting. I'm not shouting at all. Trust me, you would know if I was shouting. Trust me, you would know if I was shouting. But to continue here, he said, as the swift seasons roll, which means as they pass, okay, leave the low vaulted pass. Let whatever happened in the first 90 days of the year pass. All right, let it all pass. Let each new temple nobler than the last, right? You're about to experience a new level of consciousness. Remember, okay, every time when you're growing, when you're elevating, when your mind expands, that's what's going to happen here. Okay, that's what's going to happen here. You know, you're going to increase your level of consciousness. So you're going to be able to go from one consciousness to another consciousness to another consciousness. All right. So let each new Templar, let each new Templar nobler than the last, shut thee from heaven with a dome more vast, till thou at length art free. Right? What does he mean by that? Right? Create the new reality with this consciousness. All right. And leaving thine outgrown shell by life's unresting sea, which means leave the shell behind and step into the unknown. That's what he's basically, in my words, he's basically saying that. All right. If you guys have a different interpretation of it, let me know. But under my understanding, he's basically saying is when you grow in your level of consciousness, leave the past behind. Okay, let the past behind, start a brand new level of consciousness, go into this new level of consciousness, creating exactly what it is that you want, and leave the outgrown shell there to the sea to wash away. Basically, you know, when you leave the shell, like when snails leave their shell on the coast, and then the waves come and take it away, leave that and step into who you are now, the new version of you. Okay, leave that old version of you and step into that new version of you. All right, and that's what I want every single one of you guys to do. All right, whoever you were in the first 90 days of the year, in the first quarter of the year, leave that person behind. You are now going into a new version of you. Okay, let's stay locked in here, guys, with what we're talking about, because this is so powerful. You know, if they're meant to be here, they're meant to be here. If they're not, it is what it is, right? But you got to remember this. This is so key, okay? And that's why this first chapter is so valuable, because now you were basically just breaking down the basics of it. Now, I know that might have been a little bit advanced for you guys, but honestly, in my opinion, the first chapter is probably one of the hardest chapters to understand when you start off. But it's a very simple concept. And the very simple concept is that you are who you believe yourself to be. And whatever you believe yourself to be is what you will live. Okay, that is basically what level 1 is. This is basically what chapter 1 is. Okay, and that last little poem has so much value in it, because what I want you guys to do moving forward is, when you get off this call, all right, remember, you are not who you were those first 90 days. Okay, so if you didn't have that good of a 90 days, if the first quarter of the year, you know, it wasn't your best, put that behind you. You just stepped into a new level of consciousness. All right. All right. You just stepped into a new level of consciousness. All right. So step into this new level, create the life that you want, and put all those bad things that happened in the past behind you. Okay. Leave that old version of you behind you. Leave it behind you. Okay. Leave it behind you. There's no longer you. All right. This is so key. All right. So that wraps up chapter 1. Put a 1 in the chat box if that made sense right there. All right. The simple concept of chapter 1, if you guys want to write it down, is that as a man thinketh, so is he. Like Sandy said in the chat. As simple as it is. As simple as it is, that's all it is. You are who you see yourself as. You are who you think. You become what you think about most. Okay. So if you want an idea on how to break down chapter 1, you become who you become who you think about most. You are who you believe and conceive yourself to be. And as a man thinketh, so is he. And as a woman thinketh, so is she. Okay. That's it. Super easy, very simple. All right. That's level 1. But you got to understand level 1 in order for you to understand the rest of the book. Okay. Because remember, we're going to be creating a new image of ourselves. All right. We have to create a new image of ourselves. All right. Who do we want to be in 2022? All right. Give me 1 second here. All right. So you have to really, truly understand this. This is key information. You got to know this. All right. So we're going to go into chapter 2 on page 13. All right. We got the first one, which is key. Boom. We know that. All right. We know that we are who we think about. As a man thinketh, as a woman thinketh, so is she. We got that. Create that image of yourself, though. What is the image that you want? All right. That's what I want you guys to do, though. Before we continue on into this next chapter, I want you to think about, who do you want to be? All right. We're going to read chapter 2, which is a little short chapter. It's literally 2.5 pages. All right. But I want you to really understand this on a deeper level. Okay. This next chapter is so powerful. All right. So powerful. So we're on chapter 2, consciousness. All right. This is where it's going to start to get deep. Listen up. It is only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions, right? Now, if you go back to the end of chapter 1, right? Look at chapter 1 right there to the right. I mean, to the left. Look at the top of chapter of page 12. Build the more stately mansions, O my soul. All right. What he means by stately mansions is a reality in your mind. What do you want? Right? Do you want to be that Chairman 50? Do you want to be that millionaire? What do you want to be? Okay. It is only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing the concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions. The manifestations of higher and higher concepts. All right. By manifesting is meant experiencing the results of these concepts in your world. It is more vital importance to understand clearly what consciousness is, right? The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has for it. Therefore, it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. Make sure you highlight that whole second paragraph right there, guys, because that whole second paragraph is very powerful. Okay. And it is just basically explaining a few things. Okay. The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. So what you think is your one and only reality, is the only thing that will make your reality a reality. All right. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Okay? Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has for it. Therefore, it is to own, therefore, it is to conscious, sorry, therefore, it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained, which basically means that your life, the life that you are currently experiencing, your current reality, is a reflection of your thoughts. What only cause substance means, right? So cause, think of your cause substance as your thoughts, right? Because remember the law of cause and effect, right? If there's an effect, there was something that caused it. So your cause substance is your thinking patterns, the way you think, your paradigm. Think of your cause substance as your paradigm. Okay. Great question. Prosperity is yours. Your cause substance is your thinking patterns, your paradigm, the way you think. Okay. Because what you think is what causes the effect. So that's why it's called your cause substance. The substance is what you think. All right. So to repeat it one more time, the reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. The one and only reality. So what you think of yourself, what you think is the only reality that you're going to live. So if you're thinking in negative terms, if you're thinking in terms of stress, overwhelmness, anything, doubt, fear, insecurity, that is the one and only reality that you can live. That is the only reality you can live because that's how you see yourself. Okay? All right? He says, it is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has for it. Basically saying nothing can become a reality unless the person is consistently thinking about it, right? Therefore, it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. If we accept the idea of a first cause, it would follow the evolution of the cause of that cause could never result in anything foreign to itself. That is, if the first cause substance is light, all its evolutions, fruits, and manifestations would remain light. The first cause substance being consciousness. All its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form of variation of the same thing. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it must also be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. Nature, then, as a thing of a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. Wow. So that's why they say, look, guys, look, I grew up in the hood. All right. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Washington Heights, New York City. And you guys always hear me say, we grew up in an area. And remember, I had no control over this. Okay. I was following what my parents did. Now, remember, guys, it's not our parents' fault. Our parents, for example, my mom and dad, they're immigrants. They made a massive sacrifice to come here. My mom and dad were successful in Dominican Republic, right? But when they come here nothing that they did in the Dominican Republic matters here. So they're basically nobodies when they get here. So my mom, she's worked her whole life at like, supermarkets, taking care of old people. My dad was a cab driver. They already did all that they could to get us here. Okay. Now, our parents they don't understand this information. Okay. I don't blame my parents for the reality that we lived in, right? We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment, right? We lived in the hood, but it was, if you think about it, the environment that we lived in was a reflection of the thinking that my parents had. Okay. The place that you currently live in right now is a reflection of the thoughts and the reality and the consciousness that your family has. Okay. Remember, like I said, I can never blame my parents for it because they did the best that they could with what they had. Okay. My parents did the best. No, my parents didn't have access to this information, right? They were unconsciously incompetent about this information. You don't know what you don't know. I know for a fact if my mom would have known this, if my dad would have known this, okay, I probably would have grew up in a mansion. I probably would have grew up in a nice place, but because they didn't know this information, we grew up in the hood. We grew up struggling to pay the bills. We grew up in a household where my parents were employees, and they had the one way of viewing things, and they'd watch the news all day, and these are all things that I had no control over. Okay, that's why they say you are born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. Because even though you had no control over the fact that you grew up in a low income area and you might not be as happy with your environment, okay, you got to understand that a lot of the reality that you live right now is it's a reflection of the consciousness that your family had. This is why it is so hard to break generational curses. Okay, this is why it's so hard. This is why it's so hard. Why you think so many people don't do it? It's because not enough people know this information. I'm telling you guys, this book is going to change our lives. Like I said, guys, I grew up in the hood, low income area, drugs sold on every corner, homeless people sleeping outside. Okay, cockroaches scatter at nighttime when you turn on the kitchen light. I've been there before. Rats, all of that. But guess what? Listen to it one more time. Read it from the middle, right here, where it says consequently. He says, consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. A lot of the things that we've realized and things that have happened in our lives are a reflection of our family's consciousness, the things that they think. Okay. What appears to you as circumstances, things that happen in your life, all right, conditions, and even material objects, even the things that you have in your house, all right, the things that you wear, the clothes that you wear, all this stuff is all products of your own consciousness. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. You and the world that you live, you and your environment are one, because that is your level of consciousness. Your parents, our parents created this. We are one within that. Okay. So look, guys, when I learned this, the reason why I started to go on tour so much and started to go to other cities as much as I did was because I needed to get out of the environment that I was in. All right. I had to get out of it. Right. I needed to do something different. So if there was ever an event, dude, if they like, for example, if I know there's an event in June, dude, I'm saving up every day from now till June to get the ticket and the money to be able to go to that event. And I'm hoping that it's out of state so I can go out of the state. I'm always looking for ways to leave out of my environment. Okay. Because I knew that the environment that I was in wasn't created by me. The environment that you guys live in right now wasn't created by you. You are just a product of your environment now. Because guess what? The environment that was created around you, you just now have adjusted your thoughts, your actions, your habits around that environment. So whatever habits people in this environment have, you have. Whatever thought patterns people in this environment have, you have. Everything that people have within this environment, you have as well. Okay. Now, let's continue so we can wrap it up here. Therefore, right, middle of page 14. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things. Your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams, in the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonism, and contrast of your life, there's only one principle at work, only your consciousness operating. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, your consciousness. The world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. Make sure you highlight that right there. That's important. But is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent as true. The rich man, poor man, beggar man, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its molecules. A single electron revolving in a specified orbit constitutes the unit of magnetism. When a piece of steel or anything else is demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There is only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside perceptible effect. When particles are arranged at random, mixed up in all directions, the substance is said to be demagnetized. But when particles are marshmallowed in ranks so that a number of them face in one direction, the substance is a magnet. Magnetism is not generated, it is displayed. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself. The importance of this in your daily life should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. Now, I know that was a little advanced right there, but let's break it down real quick, right? He talked a lot about magnetism, right? Magnetism, right, is basically there's two definitions to it, right? is a physical phenomenon produced by the motion of electric charge resulting in attractive and repulsive forces between objects, right? Another one, it's used to describe a person is the ability to attract and charm people. So magnetism is basically attracting. Okay, it's an energetic pull, like Mashaya, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I said that right. Right? But it's important that you guys understand this, okay? We're gonna reread this so you can get a better understanding of it, and then we'll wrap it up there. All right. He said, hold up, give me 1 second. Hold up. Different does. Yep, perfect. Right. So the world moves with motiveless necessity. Okay. By this is meant that there is no motive of its own, but it is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent as true. Okay, so all he's saying is, all right, and basically in very basic terms, all right, your thoughts that you have on a day-to-day basis, okay, remember your thoughts are energy as well. Okay, so whatever you're thinking is the energy that you are putting out. Okay, think about your thoughts as a magnet. Okay, think about it as a magnet. All right, whatever thoughts you have of yourself, whether it's positive or negative, all right, that's what he's saying. Right, it is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, who you want to be, the arrangement of your mind, the arrangement of your thoughts. Your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent as true. What do you believe and what you consent as truth? That's what's important. That, what do I always say? It's easy. The easiest thing you can do is hit 6 figures. The hardest thing you can do is believe you can do it. Okay, this is where my challenge was. All right. This is where my challenge was. My challenge was I didn't know, I still didn't believe that I can go 6 figures. Until I arranged my image of myself in my mind. I said, I am that 6-figure earner. All right. And I started to believe it, and I started to consent to it as true. I told myself it enough. I said it to myself enough. I spoke about it enough until it became a reality. He said, the rich man, poor man, beggar man, and the thief are not different minds. Which means, guys, listen to this. Which means that, hold up, let me put user. Okay, so he says, the rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, the thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind. Because there's no different, all right, between me and you. We all have the same mind. We just think differently. Think about it, guys. You all are the same as me. We all have the same mind. Some of us come from the same place, same neighborhood. The only difference is the arrangement of our thoughts in our mind. That's the only difference. Okay? And that's what he breaks down then. He says, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement of the order of its molecules. What does it mean? We take a piece of steel, okay, and we could form it however we want, but it's still a piece of steel. Okay, we could form it in whatever way we want. Steel is used for so many different things. Okay, we could use it to build a building. We could use it for a foundation. We could use it to set something up. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, a piece of steel is piece of steel. It's the same molecules. It's just being used in different forms. That's what he's basically saying when he talks about the magnetism, right? And then he starts talking about the electron, When a piece of steel or anything else is demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Okay? Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There is only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside perceptible effect. When particles are arranged at random, mixed up in all directions, the substance is said to be demagnetized. All right, so on and so forth. Magnetism is not generated, it is displayed. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. So what is that saying right here? That we need to change the concept of ourselves in our mind and rearrange our thoughts on what we're thinking about ourselves. The importance of this is your daily life should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause of consciousness, therefore the ultimate substance of all things, is consciousness. That's chapter 1 and 2 right there. So to cover basically what we covered today in just simple terms, as basic as I can, so you guys can all understand. Chapter 1, we talked about I am. We said we are who we think about most. As a man thinketh, so is he. And whatever you believe yourself to be or conceive yourself to be is what you will be. So the first thing that you got to do, all right, is what do you want to be? Okay. What is your goal? What is your goal? What are you working towards every day? What is that goal? I am what? I am chairman. I am SED. I am a millionaire. What is your I am? Okay. What do you want yourself to be? Okay. I see myself as a millionaire this year. I've earned multiple six, but this year is the year where I see myself as the millionaire version of myself. So in order for me now to become that millionaire, I need to arrange my thoughts around the millionaire version of myself, which is what I'm working on. I put myself in $1 million environment before I became a millionaire. Think about how dope that was. Everybody in this building makes millions. Everybody. Everybody that lives in my building is a millionaire. Every single person. Every single person. I put myself in a millionaire environment before I was one. Because in my mind, I am a millionaire. In my consciousness, right? All I think about is that. So if you think about it, right? If we go back, look at my environment. Look at the environment. Look at the things that I see. Look at the things that I'm attracting into my life. Look at what I was able to magnetize into my life. The only way that this is possible is through what I was thinking about. Through the arrangement of my thoughts. The arrangement of my thoughts what has magnetized this experience into my reality. I didn't just get a penthouse on the beach because Nano's a nice guy and because Nano has done mornings with Nano. No, it's because the arrangement of my thoughts and because of who I believe myself to be. Everything I have is because of what I believe myself to be. Everything. Everything I'm attracting is because of who I believe myself to be. Everything that people tell me about myself is because of who I believe myself to be. It is because I am, right? Look, I write it down every morning. All right. This is what I want you guys to understand. This morning, I wrote it down, right? This morning, I wrote it down. I am blessed. I am abundant. I am happy. I am enlightened. I am aligned. I am vibrating high. I'm speaking these things into my reality, right? Why am I so good at building a closer relationship with God? Why am I so good at experiencing quantum leaps in all areas of my life? Why am I so good at being a Chairman 50 qualified? Why am I so good at developing the leaders around me? Why am I so good at staying in massive momentum? right? I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $100,000 a month in profit through multiple streams of income. Look at the things that I'm saying to myself. Look at the things that I'm speaking into the universe, right? Look at the things that I'm asking God. God, why am I so good at building a closer relationship with you? Why am I so good at developing the leaders within my organization? God, why am I so good at that? Not why am I so bad? Why am I so good? Here, well, Nano, this is why you're so good. Here's more reasons, more reasons, more reasons. So what I want all of you to understand from these two chapters, and this is the foundation of it, all right, is that number one, you are who you believe yourself to be, all right, and your consciousness is one. Your consciousness controls and directs your life. So what you think about, you will become and you will attract. All right, this is all we have is our consciousness. We must rearrange our thoughts. All right, we must rearrange the way we're thinking so that we can attract exactly the lifestyle that we want. When I read this book, I was broke. I was broke. I was making $500 a week, but I was broke because that $500, I'll get it Friday. It was gone by Monday. So I was living check to check. I really didn't have anything because remember, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. How much you keep is what determines how much you really have. And I didn't have much. Okay. But this book helped me understand that because I fell in love with the idea that I was going to be a chairman, that I was going to make $10,000 a month. I fell in love with that idea. And 90 days later, it happened. I literally put an image in my mind that I was a chairman 10 earning $10,000 a month by September 11, 2019. And I wrote it down every single day. I saw myself as that person. I rearranged my thoughts. I worked on myself. I journaled every day. Journaling helped out so much because journaling helped me organize, rearrange my thoughts in my mind. Journaling helped a lot because I was able to rearrange my thoughts. Journaling helped me arrange my thoughts, how I was thinking, what I was saying, how I was operating. So this is the basic level. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the power of assumption. All right. Maybe we'll just do the power of assumption. We'll dedicate the whole chapter, the whole book to the whole power of assumption. Actually, now we'll do 3 and 4 tomorrow. We'll do chapter 3 and 4 tomorrow. We'll do 3 and 4 tomorrow. And then Wednesday we'll do, and then Wednesday we could do 5 and 6 maybe on Wednesday. Yeah, we could do 5 and 6 Wednesday. All right. So this is important, guys. We got the basics down. We understand this. But what I need all of you to do after this as some homework, let me give you some homework right now. And if you haven't done it, do it, please, because it's going to help you a lot. All right. Create an image of who do you want to be in the next 6 months, by the end of the year, whatever it is. Who do you want to be in the next 90 days? Who do you want to be in the next 6 months? Or who do you want to be by the end of the year? Create that image of yourself. Write it down. What is that goal? Because remember, you need direction of where we're going. Okay. You're going to need your thoughts to magnetize a certain idea of something. Okay, so what is going to be the idea? Is it the 6-figure version of yourself? Is it the healthier version of yourself? What idea are you going to magnetize into your reality? Okay, who are you going to be starting today, Monday? All right, from now on, the idea that I'm going to create for myself is Chairman 50. All right, that's what I'm focused on. That's all that matters to me right now. Okay, Chairman 50 and creating chairmans within my organization. Okay, because that's who I see myself as. All right, I see myself as that multiple 6-figure earner. That's then going to lead to my 7-figure earner. Right, but I got to hit one step at a time. I'm 2 steps from making 7 figures. I got to hit that next step and then hitting the next step after that. How do I start thinking about the right things to get myself in the right path, especially for someone with bad anxiety? Well, first off, you got to change the reality, Sean, right? just get yourself out of the reality that you don't have bad anxiety anymore. You don't have anxiety. Anxiety does not exist in your reality anymore. Remember, whatever you think is what you will attract and what you will be. So start to reprogram your mind that you no longer have a bad anxiety. I no longer have an issue with anxiety. I've mastered my own thoughts and emotion. Everything is in the mind. All right. So get yourself out of that reality. All right. Get yourself out of it. That is not your reality anymore. Okay. And put yourself in the reality that you want to live. How do you see yourself? How much money do you want to make? What rank? What do you want to do with your life? All right. And create that image and see yourself as that person, Sean, who's making 6 figures a year, living anxiety free. He's happy. He's excited. See yourself as that person. Rearrange your thoughts into that person. And it's not going to happen overnight, guys. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen with time. It's going to happen with progress. It's going to happen with awareness. Yeah, Gene, hit me up. But with that being said, I know we went a little bit over because the call went a little over, obviously, because it was the first day. But like I said, guys, this wrap up today's call. Put a 1-2 in the chat box. Put a 1-2 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call, chapter 1 and 2. Make sure, look, guys, another thing you guys could do is reread it. Put an own concept of it of yourself. Journal on what you learned today. Like, what was so powerful about what you learned today? Create that image of yourself. What is that image that you want? Who do you want to be come December 31st? What do you want to accomplish? What is that image that you want of you? All right. Live in that energy now, because that's the first thing we need. We need to first create that image. You need to first have that direction in your life upstairs. Because God will give to you whatever you see yourself as. That's what he's going to give you. If you see yourself as that person long enough, you'll get it. My goal here is to get you guys to have a quantum leap so big in the next 90 days that you're the same way my life changed, how I went from broke to making 10 bands, 12 bands a month. That's what I want to happen to you guys. I want a lot of you guys to literally 6x, 7x your income the same way I did after reading this. But you need to apply it. You need to apply it. All right. I'm telling you guys what I did. When I did this in 2019, almost 3 years ago. All right. When I was doing this, I didn't have nothing. I was broke, like I said. And all I did, all right. Hello?
You got a visitor here. Jose, right? Jose.
Yep, let him in.
All right.
So you got to apply it now. Like I said, I set a goal. I started reading this book the summer of 2019 in June, July was when I started reading this. All right. I created the image of myself, which was, I am so happy and grateful now that I am Chairman 10. All right. Now that I am Chairman 10 by September 11th, 2019. That was my goal. I am so happy and grateful now that I am Chairman 10. For those that are wondering what Chairman 10 is, a Chairman 10 is someone who earns $10,000 a month. So I am so happy and grateful now that I am a Chairman 10, or now that I am earning $10,000 a month by September 11th, 2019. And I wrote it down. I became that reality. I arranged my thoughts around how that person would think, how that person would act, how that person speaks. I thought about it. How does that version of me speak? How does that person talk? How does he act? What time does he wake up? What kind of value is he bringing? All right. And you don't have to put a date on it. No, you just do it to just see if you're able to do it by then. And I wasn't able to do it by September 11th, but I did it by October 1st. So I did it a whole 20 days later. I did it a whole 20 days later. All right. So with that being said, I hope that you guys got value from that. Thank you for all. Damn, we still 500 plus, 600 plus actually. And we've been on this call since 9 and some change. So let's run it up. Quick prayer, and we'll wrap it up right there. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your abundance and your grace. Every day we get a chance to wake up and serve our purpose is always a blessing and something that we are always so excited to do. You have been a phenomenal leader of ours, and you've put this incredible book into our lives, The Power of Awareness, to make us more aware of everything. And the beautiful thing is that this book talks about you, God. And I know that you will never put a book in our lives that isn't going to bring us value. So, we just want to let you know that we are ready to receive all the lessons, all the blessings that this book is going to provide us with. We know that this book is filled with wisdom that is going to help us change our mind and rearrange our thoughts into who exactly we want to be, because we are all created in your image, God, and we can be, do, or have anything that we want in our life, but we have to believe it, and we have to consciously think about the things that we want each and every single day. So for anyone who's on this call, God, who doesn't know what they want, help them find what they want. For anyone who's on this call that needs help, all right, rearranging their thoughts, including myself, right? Anyone who needs help rearranging their thoughts and making sure that their thinking is aligned with what it is that they want, help us rearrange those thoughts, guys. God, allow us to release anything in our mind that is not bringing us any value, any negative thoughts, anything that's not helping us in any kind of way. Release those thoughts from our mind. And we are so thankful for this lesson and for everything that you're doing for us each and every single day, God. So let's go out there. Let's have a great day. And with that being said, I love you and I appreciate you. We all love you and we appreciate you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. So with that being said, guys, that wraps up today's call. We finished chapter 1 and chapter 2. I challenge you to reread it again. Reread it again. Really get the value of it. Really get the concept of it. Grab it, grasp it, like really get it down to the T, right? I highly recommend you to reread chapter 1 and chapter 2 again. Highlight whatever you got to highlight and journal on it and create that image of yourself and rearrange your thoughts to the person that you want to be. All right, fam. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See you guys tomorrow for chapter 3 and 4. I'm opening up the link at 9:15. We start, fam. Let's run it. Let's go.